Hi, hello, and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a review on a wheel. These wheels are called Sweet Picnic by Decomposed Skateboards. So these wheels are 53 millimeters and 98A durometer. So kind of on the smaller side, I would really say anything less than like 54, 53 is pretty small for a skateboard wheel. 52, 51, those are really small, but a relatively soft wheel for a skateboard wheel. Now there's all kinds of different durometers out there for skateboard wheels. If you're skating more of like a cruiser longboard wheel, you're gonna have really soft durometer. That's gonna be around your 70, 78, something like that. But typically more in street skateboarding, durometers get up to 101 durometer, which is really, really hard. So 98 is kind of on the softer side. For street skateboarding, typically you don't see anything less than 97A durometer, but there are all of those new wheels out right now, like the Spitfire soft slider and the Powell Dragon wheels that are known for being softer wheels that can also slide, and they're 95A durometer. So basically why that might be important to you to know the durometer of the wheel is because the harder the wheel, the easier that wheel is going to slide and the less grip you're going to have. But the softer the wheel, the grippier it's going to be. That's why wheels like the Powell Dragon wheel is kind of a big deal, because it feels softer, but it slides just as well as a hard wheel does. And why that might be important to you as well is because if you're skating a ground with like a more rough or hard surface, a softer wheel is going to absorb a lot of that shock. So it's going to be easier on your feet and on your legs. And it's also going to ride a lot smoother than a hard wheel would on really rough, bumpy ground. But if you're skating very smooth ground, then a hard wheel is kind of perfect. So if you're skating a skate park or just some concrete somewhere that's really nice and smooth, then you'll want a harder wheel for sure. So these are kind of not soft, but not the hardest, so somewhere nice in between. I've been skating these wheels for around a month now, so I kind of have some thoughts and opinions on them. One, I love the graphic. That's a really cool graphic to me. That was one of the first things that really grabbed my attention about them. It's pretty simple, and I like a white wheel, so these seemed perfect for me to try out. And another thing, like I did mention in my previous video, how to mod your skateboard for freestyle skateboarding, it is a offset bearing core. So you'll see that the bearing is really close to this side of the wheel, but it sinks in really far on this side of the wheel, if you can see that. And what that does is it protects your axle from being all scuffed up, and it gives your foot more surface area to stand on, so you can do things like rail stands a lot easier, and your board can lock into the rail stand much easier as well. So if you are in the market for freestyle wheels, I would try to make sure you have a wheel with an offset bearing core like this one has, so that you can get into rail a lot easier. And it can also get into things like coconut wheelies a lot easier as well. I can't coconut wheelie yet, so I don't have much experience with that with these wheels, but there is a lot of urethane on this edge, so I would assume you could do them on these wheels for a while before that urethane wears down and you need to change them out. So I've been skating these wheels mainly on skate park ground, like it's pretty smooth. I haven't really had to skate it through too much rough terrain yet, but what I can say is they feel awesome. They slide around whenever you need to, they grip when I need them to, they sound really good, which is kind of a weird thing to say, but if you're a skateboarder like me, you'd kind of like your wheels to sound a certain way when you're doing tricks on them, and they just feel nice. There was that one time in my second vlog video where I did find that rough ground area to do some flat ground stationary tricks on, and I didn't really notice my wheels having too much of a problem riding through those bumps and those cracks. I feel like I was able to skate that spot perfectly fine, and the wheels weren't a problem at all. Typically, if you have a smaller wheel, you will have trouble getting through bumps and cracks, but this is kind of just at that area where it's big enough you can still get through them, but not so big that you're gonna be getting like a ton of wheel bite or anything. Personally, I'm a really big fan of white wheels, and I don't like when they start to yellow. I haven't had these wheels long enough to the point where they could start yellowing yet, but I do really enjoy the color of them. So I'm noticing that these wheels are a little tricky to get balance on when you're trying to do some things like a rail flip, for instance, like when you're in rail stand, standing on that wheel, and you want the board to flip or to shove it all the way around. It is kind of hard because these wheels are a little bit smaller, A bigger wheel would be much easier for that. Doing other things too, like a wheel spin or a toe spin, where you're standing on the wheel and spin around. It's totally doable, but I do think that if I had a wheel that was slightly bigger, maybe something more in like the, I don't know, 55 to 57 range, it would be easier. But these wheels are really, really great for standing and rail stand and doing a ton of other rail tricks. I don't have too much experience with freestyle wheels to really be able to compare them to any other freestyle wheel, but I have done some freestyle tricks on some Spitfire conicals and stuff like that, like not freestyle wheels. And I can tell you that the first time I started freestyle skateboarding with a board with freestyle wheels, instantly it felt so much better. So if you're in the market for some freestyle wheels, I would highly recommend checking out Decomposed Skateboards. They have an online shop with a ton of variety. They just put out a new wheel called the Cyclonus. That looks really, really cool, and I cannot wait to try those out one day. And I'll put a link down in the description if you are interested in picking these wheels up. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had to say for this wheel. It's a nice wheel, it looks great, it feels great, and it's awesome to skate on. So thanks for checking out this video, guys. I hope it helped you if you're in your search for a nice pair of freestyle wheels. I hope this gave you plenty of advice and tips when trying to decide which wheel you want to go with. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. See you later.